This lesson plan will teach you how to talk students through making a NOTAN. What's a NOTAN? The term NOTAN can be applied to several different methods of reducing a composition to either two tones or three tones, usually as an exercise in composition, an exploration of positive and negative space, or an exercise in balance. What we're referring to as a NOTAN is just one of those exercises. I use it in third grade to help students understand the concepts of positive and negative space. And what we're going to do is very simple, but NOTANs can be extremely complex. And by using this method of teaching, you can set up your students for success in making increasingly complex and detailed cuts. You don't need many supplies. You do need two different colors of paper, and solid colors are best because we're looking for stark contrast. I use usually 8 inches square for my bottom paper and 4 inches square for my top paper. Other than that, you need a pencil, scissors and glue sticks, and a whole lot of patience. You're going to want to do this slowly. And the number one problem I have teaching it, again, as I said, I'm doing it with 8-year-olds, is getting them to slow down. They always want to jump ahead and guess what the next step is. The good news is once you've gotten them to slow down and do it correctly once, they understand the process and they can go from there at their own speed. So the first thing they're going to do is take the smaller square. It doesn't have to be a square, it can be a different shapes, but I find a square easiest to start with. With their pencil, they're going to draw a shape on each side. It's important that they do it on the side. Don't do it on the corners. Of course, there's the exception to every rule, but if you start doing it on the sides, it's going to be much easier to teach and let them start doing corners when they're more sophisticated. You want to encourage them to make big, simple shapes because they're going to have to cut these shapes out. And a mistake that my students often make is either they make their shapes so tiny that the end result is not very effective, or they make them so complicated that it's very difficult for them to cut it out. So you know you have some students that always want to be extra, but if you can get them to do very simple shapes for this first one, it's going to be worth it for them. I find most students can make 2, maybe even 3 of these in a class time, and the ones who make it so complicated the first time don't even finish the one. The next thing they're going to do is they're going to cut out these shapes, and it's very important that they do not lose their shapes. This is the other mistake that beginners make when they cut something that's either tiny or very complicated, or they hack it up into little pieces, is they don't understand they're going to have to put this back together. So don't lose those shapes. Next step is to take the centerpiece, not the shapes that you've cut out, but just the centerpiece, and glue it down onto that larger piece of paper. Our next step is to put those pieces back in like a puzzle. I always say this is we're putting our puzzle back together, but do not glue those pieces down. This is where the kids get ahead of you and they glue all those little pieces in. And then when you get to the next step, which is they're going to have to move those pieces, then they're stuck because they have glued them down. Don't glue those pieces down. The way I like to explain this next part is opening a door. You're going to lift that flap and open it up. You're going to turn it over exactly as if you are opening a door. And you're going to glue that down once those doors are open. And that's the way it should work. It probably won't the first time. So here's some mistakes that we run into right away. The first is they don't move that piece far enough out of the square. You really want to emphasize that idea of a door, of a hinge. You want it to be right on the line. The next mistake, they move it too far out, and you can see there's a space there. Again, to do it correctly, you want to scooch that up exactly on the line. Sometimes they don't flip it at all. Again, this is usually because they're moving so fast, they don't want to wait for directions. But in this case, they've just slid it out. They haven't flipped it over. And the next mistake is instead of just opening the door on the hinge, they have accidentally flipped it over. So you're not getting that mirror image. So if you tried to fold that blue piece back in, it would not fit into that spot. The great thing is that this is so quick and easy that if they do make the mistakes, it's just a matter of a few minutes to start over and try again. Or if they haven't glued things down too permanently, you can peel that up and reposition it. I always talk them through this first part by saying this is just practice. This one doesn't count. Don't worry if it didn't work out. This is just practice. If it does work out and they've got all of their little flaps lined up and they're very proud of themselves, this is excellent. We're talking about the positive and the negative space and the balance. Then you can challenge them to do more. Now let's do a double NOTAN. And with the double NOTAN, this is going to work exactly the same way, except within each space, you are going to cut another shape. And that could be the same shape or a different shape. And then when you fold that, you're going to fold it back inside. And you can see this is how the complexity grows. So this is a bulletin board of my third graders. You can see that almost all of them are on that first simple step. But if you look closely, you will find some have taken the step into the double NOTAN, and you can see two. One of them is the black and white. It's right above the phrase that says create artwork that shows negative and positive space. That was that kid's second try. That's not a double NOTAN, it's still a single, but you can see that the cutting has gotten more complex and it makes a more interesting shape. And the other one is way over to the left, the one that's sort of all by itself, black and white. And he's gone triple cuts in some of those. So if this is what a third grader can do in just a 50-minute lesson, imagine what older kids can do. So this is not my class. This is something I got off the internet, but this is middle school. And you can see that the concept is exactly the same. Now they've done more complex cuts and they've added this really cool background. Looks like that's done with tissue paper. This one as well, not my work. This is a high school teacher. And, once they're old enough that they can start using either really fine scissors or an X-Acto knife, they can really ramp up the complexity of composition. And as busy as these are, if you look closely at it, you will see the concept of how it is done, of cutting it and flipping it open, just like opening a door, is exactly the same thing that I talked you through with those 4 simple cuts at the very beginning. So you could take that classic idea of the Japanese NOTAN and build out with either more complex cuts, more layering, or putting different backgrounds in. Here's an art teacher who has added complexity by having her students draw Zentangles inside the composition. And this one is actually fabric. This is an applique quilt. And then you can see, as I said before, it does not have to be a square. You can do this with any shape. So I'm Heidi Howe. Those are my easy instructions for making a NOTAN. And I look forward to seeing how it came out in your class.